Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan, Rahayu. Hello everyone, my name is Aliana Jelhairunisa, a management student from the Faculty of Economics, Universitas Tidar. I'm very pleased to share our research titled Human Resource Innovation for Economic Inclusion, a Dual Method Review on Global Trends and Gaps. This research was conducted together with my co-authors, Dewi Anggraini and Jauza Marfa, under the supervision of Dr. Shinta Ratnawati, Mr. Hanung Eka Atmaja, and Dr. Dian Marlina Ferawati. In this short presentation, I will briefly explain the background, research methods, main findings, and key implications of our study. Nearly 60% of the global working age population still lacks access to quality jobs and social protections. Vulnerable groups such as women, persons with disabilities, and informal workers are especially affected. This condition shows how important human resource innovation is in promoting inclusive and sustainable employment opportunities. Recent studies highlight that human resource management, or HRM, is no longer just an operational function. It has become a strategic driver of inclusive and sustainable development. However, research in this area is still fragmented, with limited integration between HR innovation and macro-level inclusion strategies. That's why our study focuses on inclusive HRM, digital upskilling, and workplace diversity and equity. Second, identify main themes using the TCCM framework, which stands for Theory, Context, Characteristics, and Methodology. Third, refill research gaps and propose a future research agenda that connects HR innovation, inclusion, and sustainable development. We use dual method design combining bibliometric analysis and systematic literature review. The bibliometric method helps us see the big picture, global publication trends, authors, and keyword networks from 220 Scopus indexed articles. The systematic review provides deeper qualitative insights from 40 highly cited papers guided by the TCCM frameworks. Together, these two approaches give both macro and micro perspectives on how HR innovation supports inclusion. Our data were collected from the Scopus database, focusing on peer-reviewed English journal articles published between 2020 and 2024. We use search terms such as human resource innovation, inclusive HRM, and economic inclusion. After screening 220 articles met our inclusion criteria. This combination bibliometric and SLR approach allowed us to identify both global patterns and conceptual insights. From our analysis, we identified four main research themes. First, inclusive talent development and digital upskilling. Studies focusing on equal access to training women, youth, and people with disabilities. Second, diversity-focused HRM and inclusion policies. Research exploring fair recruitment, equal promotion, and inclusive leadership. Third, HR innovation for vulnerable communities, showing how HRM can empower rural or informal workers. And fourth, conceptual models of inclusive HRM, which build theoretical frameworks for future inclusive practices. In summary, we found that research on inclusive HR innovation is growing rapidly, supported by theories like the stakeholder theory and the capability approach. However, it remains fragmented across regions and research designs. The four main themes show a clear link between HRM, social equity, and sustainable development goals. This means that HR practices are now being seen as a key solution to global inequality. Theoretically, our study strengthens the development of HRM by shifting focus from performance-only model to those that emphasize equity and inclusion. From a managerial perspective, companies should integrate inclusion into their HR strategies, not just as a CSR program, but as a core business priority. Finally, policymakers need to support frameworks that encourage inclusive HR innovation, especially for marginalized and informal workers. To conclude, our research highlights the importance of inclusive and innovative HR practice in building fair and sustainable workplace worldwide. We hope this study inspires future collaborations between researchers, policymakers, and HR leaders to advance economic inclusion. Thank you very much for watching this presentation. I truly appreciate your time and interest in our work. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.